Thank you, Dr. Roberts. I have been a resident of Cecil County for 28 years. I am a lifelong Republican. A lot of people ask me what my greatest accomplishment has been since being on the council, and my first response is I got myself appointed. I am not a lifelong politician. This is my first stint at being in the political arena. But since I've been here, I feel like I've learned a lot. I've accomplished some things that I'm pretty proud of. This is definitely outside of my wheelhouse and my comfort zone, but some of my accomplishments have included supporting and getting the backyard chicken bill passed, voting for tax cuts, and informing myself of the charter process, the codes of Maryland, the codes of our county, and making sure that I understand what's going on so that I can listen to the constituents and get them the help
they need. Thank you, Councilperson Culberson. Candidate Donald Gibbon.
Good evening, and I'd like to thank the Chamber for hosting this great event tonight and for everyone for coming out tonight. My name is Donald Gibbon. I'm a 25-year law enforcement professional. My wife, Kim, is also a 20-year law enforcement professional. We moved to Cecil County 17 years ago, raised our 2 children in the Cecil County Public School, Perryville, excellent school system. And I'm also a graduate of Newman University. I have a degree in public safety administration. I'm a proud graduate of the FBI National Academy 266th session and the current president of the Maryland-Delaware FBI National Code Academy Associates. I'm running for this. My platform is based mostly on public safety and education. They are the pillars of our community. Without them, we have nothing. And you're going to hear some things tonight as I answer some of these questions about how the Sheriff's Office is near catastrophic failure and why I can hit the ground running and improve things here in Cecil County for all of us.
Mr. Gibbon, charter government for Cecil County was adopted by Cecil County citizens in 2010, and we elected the first county executive and council 10 years ago in 2012. What do you like best about charter government, and do you have recommendations for improvement?
I think it was stated earlier, but the checks and balances that go along with a charter government is what I like best about it. I've worked for 25 years, actually 25 years as a law enforcement officer in Harford County, which has been charter government the entire time. Prior to that, I worked at the 911 dispatch center for about 1.5 years before I was old enough to be a police officer. So I've been around charter government. That's what I've worked with, for, and around, and see the advantages. The number one thing I hear, and speaking with people and citizens of Cecil County, is so much more has gotten done since they went from the commissioner system of government to the charter government. So I think we're on the right path. Obviously, it is still fairly new to Cecil County, so there's always room for improvement, and I look forward to being part of those improvements and the change moving forward on July 19th.
Thank you. Basically, everybody has already said what I feel are the most, the biggest benefits of charter government, and that is the checks and balances that are in place between the executive branch and the legislative branch. It also forces us to communicate with one another at all levels so that we can make the best decisions for the constituents of the county. Nothing is ever perfect. So there's definitely things that could be done to maybe improve some of the processes, but we look at those processes as we have been going through various functions at the council level and making recommendations and putting resolutions into place to try to amend the existing government. So the current charter government. So those are things that you will be seeing coming up on the ballot in November as referendum questions, so you need to consider those carefully. Thank you.
Ms. Culberson, you're running for a position on the Cecil County Council. You're one of 5 and have no individual authority to act or speak for the council unless granted by the majority of the members. How will you ensure the other members that you will work in a collaborative manner and be constructive and respectful while presenting and listening to all views?
Thank you for the question. Being in a team environment requires respect of each individual member of the team. It requires integrity and honesty, and it requires you to be open-minded to other people's suggestions, their comments, and the things that they present. So I feel that those are the things that are important, but I also feel like I have the ability to work as a team player. I have critical thinking skills. I will investigate everything that is brought before the council and then do my research and bring the information that I have discovered to council for review, which I have done in the past on some of the bills and resolutions that have come before us. So I think it all boils down to respect, integrity, and being open-minded and working together.
Well, part of my agency mission statement is to protect the rights and dignities of all citizens. So I will continue that in this venture on this side of the river, working as a councilman by respecting all the constituents, hearing their needs, and also working with fellow council members, as well as the county executive and other elected officials. And that's going to be done through communication, collaboration, to achieve our goals. In my job, I lead over 600 people, and I manage an operational budget of just over $100 million, and several capital projects to that each year, which can range up to, I have one project right now, the new precinct, which is a $24 million project that we're taking on. So I've had a lot of success in the past with grants and different projects, and that would not be possible if I didn't have a good working relationship with the citizens, and solving community problems, and also working with the elected officials. Now I'll be sitting on the other side of the table and giving the members of public safety what they need to do their job in Cecil County.
Ms. Culberson, there have been over 200 mass shootings reported in the United States so far in 2022. Recently, the killing of 19 children at Robb Elementary School in Texas has created even more anxiety and fear. What can the council do to address public safety in Cecil County?
Thank you for that question. First of all, I just want to make it very clear that I do support the Second Amendment. I am opposed to taking weapons away from individuals. It's also important to remember that criminals don't follow the laws. They're going to find a weapon of choice regardless of what laws are in place. As far as the schools go and trying to protect the staff, the teachers, the students, we do need secure entries, but the secure entries are not the end-all be-all for saving students if an active shooter enters the building. The incident that was mentioned in the question occurred because a door was left open, so the intruder didn't even go through a secure entrance. We need to look at other ways in addition to the secure entrances to make sure that if an alert goes out to the teachers that an active shooter is in the building, that they have mechanisms in place to secure their rooms, their areas, and protect themselves and their children.
I'm not to talk fast for this one. Heart in schools, first and foremost. Look back to 9/11, one of the greatest disasters that ever happened on U.S. soil. We didn't stop flying airplanes, we locked the cockpit down. It has to be the same type of mentality for our schools. SROs in every school. We need to address the issue of mental health. I'm also pro-Second Amendment and think we need to leave the law-abiding citizens' guns alone. They are not the problem. Provide law enforcement with the tools they need. Everywhere I go, everyone talks about public safety and education being the most important things, and I agree with that. When we talk about wasteful spending, I don't need a blue ribbon commission or study. All we need to do is ask the professionals, ask the sheriff's office what they need, and provide them with the funding and the tools that they need. We don't need to spend more money. Those type of commissions to look at pay studies and pay parity are fine if you are trying to keep up with the competition around you, not pull yourself out of the hole, as we have already dug a hole, and as I said earlier, almost a catastrophic failure.
Mr. Givenden, preserving a proper balance between economic development and the county's rural legacy is what makes Cecil County a desirable place to live, work, and visit. Do you agree with the current Cecil County Comprehensive Plan? What are its strengths? And would you recommend any changes?
First, I want to say that Cecil County is the most desirable place to live, work, and visit. Although I work on the other side, I'm trying to bring my work here and serve in this capacity. But I absolutely love living here, and I think that we need to manage smart economic growth and also be very mindful of that agricultural heritage that makes it a beautiful place to live and visit and work. We have to factor in several things. The zoning for many of these places has already been completed, and we're on Route 40 and 95 corridor. And in my district alone, we're about to see an explosion. The Great Wolf Lodge is about to come there. We need to support that. It's going to have an impact on everything around us. And I don't believe that, I do not want to raise taxes. Absolutely not, just like everyone else you've heard up here tonight. But if we need these resources and the tools, the hotel tax, if we need to increase the hotel tax and let all these people that are coming to Cecil County pay for what we need, then so be it.
Thank you. Economic growth is what helps fund the county. And as Mr. Givenden said, we do have the Great Wolf Lodge coming in, and I know that there's other development that's already been announced for the area around Great Wolf Lodge and the casino. So that area is going to be really blowing up here very shortly. So that's going to bring in additional tax dollars. I do agree with the county plan as far as expanding the growth of the county. I do think we need to focus more on additional types of businesses other than warehousing so that we can get more qualified and high-tech people in and at the salaries that they need, industrial, manufacturing, those types of things, even hospitality, more hospitality services, which I'm sure the economic development team is probably working on. But we need to bring in people that can make higher wages.
Ms. Culbertson, the preamble of the Declaration of Independence includes a statement, all men are created equal. Easy to understand, yet difficult to achieve. All public schools, community college, and public library institutions are designed to ensure all have access to assist in their growth, development, and workforce preparedness. As a council member, what will you do to ensure these three public Cecil County institutions have necessary local fiscal support to fulfill their stated missions?
Thank you for the question. I believe that that council and the government at this point, the executive branch of the government, attempt to meet the fiscal responsibilities to fund and maintain the libraries and the public education. I know that there are people who feel that that may not be happening, but again, we all have to live within our means and within our own personal budget. So while I feel that we need to be geared towards every student and make sure that they all have the ability to obtain the information they need at the libraries or the opportunities to get the information they need within the school system if they have handicaps or disabilities. But I think we can't burden taxpayers by increasing taxes to make that happen. We need to find ways, constructive ways to work around the fiscal limits.
Thank you. I'm going to address the first part of that. All men are created equal. I took an oath to make sure that I uphold the Constitution of the United States of America and the state of Maryland every day of my life. So I do believe all men are created equal and understand the importance of treating everyone fairly and making sure that everyone has an opportunity to have the same success and opportunities. When it comes to the public schools and the libraries and Cecil College, those are all great, fantastic opportunities for our citizens to grow, and it basically comes down to funding for those. Transparency and making sure we're not spending in other areas where we can focus money and funds into those three very important tenets of our society, which also lend to a better and safer community. It's all circular. It comes back to public safety as well. A higher educated community reduces crime and makes for a better citizenship.
Mr. Givenden, Each year, the county government's budget process refers to the maintenance of effort in relation to funding proposed for Cecil County Public Schools. What is maintenance of effort? How does the state and county arrive at the amount of maintenance of effort?
Maintenance of effort is basically, if we give the schools $10 this year, we can't give them $8 next year. You heard Mr. Malice say that they need $4 million annually just to keep up with the teachers' contracts. So the way I look at it is maintenance of effort is that minimum amount required, but if you put minimum in, you get minimum out. So we need to look at improving those funds for the schools so that we can grow our education, our educational components. And that includes not only things for the teachers, such as salary and the other staff that work at the school, but also expanding with books, technology, and allow us to get ahead of other counties, not just stay status quo with the minimal amount that's there. And we need to do that smartly and not raise taxes. And I believe that there's enough overspending that we can sharpen our pencils and provide those things for our children and the school employees.
Thank you for the question. Maintenance of effort is, as Mr. Gibbiden said, the minimum amount that can be given to the schools towards their fiscal responsibilities for the year. As we've heard from other panels, the funding for the schools come not only from county, but from state and other sources as well. I do believe that our teachers and our students deserve the best that they can possibly have. But as I've stated previously, I also feel that I don't feel that we should be raising taxes in order to fund all of these things. I think that we need to take a good hard look at where money is going, how money is being spent, and maybe reallocate funds, not only from the executive level and by council, but from the school level as well. I think maybe we can find ways to better use the funds that are being allocated to the schools.
30 seconds.
Again, thank the chamber for hosting this tonight and everyone for coming out. If I seem a little nervous or not quite polished, it's because I'm not a politician. I'm trying to be an elected official to do the best job for the elected citizens, or for the citizens of Cecil County. I believe that government should be like our cell phones, right here. A little smaller, a little faster, a little more efficient. And I just leave you with this. A couple words. With me, you're going to get common sense, transparency, honor, integrity, and fiscal responsibility. So I ask for your vote on July 19th.
Councilperson Culberson.
Thank you. I just want everybody to understand that the reason I'm here is not for political purposes for myself or any gain for myself. It is for all of you. I am here to be your voice, to listen to you, to take action against anything that you have a problem with. I am here to represent you. That is my goal. So I ask for your vote to keep me in office in this upcoming election, July 19th. Thank you.
I appreciate you staying for a very long evening, and the important thing to remember is that the people answered, a lot of people answered the same question, but it was the people who are running against each other that makes the difference on what the answer was. But it's only part of the information you need to research regarding your July 19th vote, early voting the week before. I'm very concerned, this is just me personally, that people do not know that there was a primary July 19th. We've never had a primary in the middle of summer, and one of the things that I ask you is make sure that your neighbors, your relatives, all your friends know July 19th is a primary, and it's critically important for local representation. Who's going to take us, over the next 4 years? And with that, I appreciate you being here this evening, and Godspeed.